all of this archetypal embodiment, all of the waking up to the six faces, all of the reclamation of the feminine, the reclamation of the masculine, the divine union within, connecting up to the heights, connecting down to the depths, opening all of your chakras, all of this, the whole thing has to do with coming into this place where you are now following. You have the capacity and the ability to follow and to read the energetics in every moment, right? Higher wisdom. You have, and what is that? That's your soul. So this whole fucking thing, do you want to know the truth of it? Here's the truth. This whole thing, like, yeah, we roar about the dark goddess and we roar about reclaiming the feminine and all of this shit. The whole thing, the whole purpose of this, the highest intention of rewilding is to get us all, to get me, to get you, to get anybody who's called to this path and to walk this path long enough to a place where you are living from soul, where you have the capacity to live from soul. You have the capacity to listen, to hear, and to trust and surrender because you don't have those little attachments. You don't have fears. You don't have the fear of losing everything. You don't have that. It's gone. That's base chakra mucky muck, right? You don't have the fear of betrayal or abandonment. You've worked through those fucking wounds. That shit doesn't come up anymore. You don't have those fears. So your ability to discern, your ability to make choice, your ability to walk the path, your path. It's the path of your soul, the path of your soul's greatest unfolding. Your ability to do that is vastly different once you open to your allness, right? When you have to have the juice flowing through you to do it. If you don't have the juice, you don't even have the connection. Like the line's not open, right? The line isn't open to your soul. It's not fucking open. That's why we do vortex work. We do central channel work. We do all of that. We do the heights. Then we do the depths, right? The depths because you're bringing your soul in. So it's bringing it in. So this whole thing is developing the capacity, the lines, the channels, the wiring so that you are connected to soul, right? So one, you can hear. One, the wiring's there, the connection's there. You can hear. Two, you have stamina. It's building a muscle. You're building muscles. These are not muscles that we have ever been taught to use. So they're new muscles. And so you're building the stamina to be able to stay that open, that aligned, that awake, that much connected to your soul, to your heart, to your womb, to your deepest truth. We all say, yes, I want to live my fullness. I want to live my authentic truth. It requires the giving up of all the things that get in the way. That's the derubbling that we talk about. That's the dark goddess work. She will get the stuff out of the way so you can hear, so you don't get confused, so you don't do all sorts of funky things. So it's the soul stamina to stand in that. And then finally, it's the faith, right? The faith or the trust or the surrender. You can say surrender. I know that some of these words just freak everybody out, but it's the capacity to, all right, I've got the wiring. So many of us have the wiring, or we get little hits. I bet some of you can relate to this. We get little hits, and then the fear kicks in, and we can't take the step. We get the hit comes, the flash comes, you know it, and then we haven't developed enough, we haven't done it enough times. Does that make sense? We haven't done it enough times where we can trust it yet. So the more you do it, the more you get it, do it, and go, you build that wiring. So then it's the building the wiring of the actual action of it. Like, yeah, I can follow soul truth. And I can follow it moment by moment by moment. Because this whole world changes every single moment. The whole thing. The whole thing. The butterfly effect. You can look that up if you want to read a little bit about that. You can just Google butterfly effect. Every moment, everything has changed. So what was true before I started this podcast, this live stream, is now not true. Right? It's just now not true because everything has just shifted. Everything in me has shifted. lots of things in rewilding have now just shifted. Who knows what this is? And so it's now my only truth is to read this moment. That's the only place that I can be. That's true. Everything else, you know, what it's insane, isn't it? But it's beautiful and it's glorious, and there's no other way to live for me. There's no other way to live. Like it's pure bliss, it's pure love, it's pure joy, it's pure truth. I mean, that's where my bliss, my love, my joy all comes from, is just truth. It's just it's the truth. And a lot of people will look at you like you are absolutely fucking insane. Like, what? How? What? Yeah, that's the nature of reality, and our society doesn't live that. Many humans don't live in accordance with natural law, in accordance with Shakti, in accordance with their soul. It's really with your soul. It's with your soul. It's the embodiment of your soul. Your soul then inhabits the whole of your being, right? That's another way of talking about it. Or the divine pours through you. The divine pours through you and expresses out of you in whatever way it wants to express out of you. It uniquely expresses out of you. You know, like the way that the divine pours through me and expresses out is so very different to the way that it pours through and expresses out of you. You're here to do totally different things in totally different ways. And that's the beauty of it, and the emptier that we are, right? The less of the rubble and the murky bits and the little attachments, and the less of the repressed and dormant places within us, the emptier. I hate saying that because that seems counterintuitive to becoming our fullness, but it's totally truth. The emptier that we are, the fuller we are, because we have more room for soul, right? Like, it's soul, it's the divine then has a place to flow into and to fill and then pour out into the world through you. And that's this whole thing. That's the whole point of this. So on the high level, that's the whole point.